Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Shooting the Shelve on Just Shelve It. I don't know why. I feel like I'm punctuating all my words. The light is in a weird spot, and it's kind of blinding me. Curtis is with me tonight.
Yeah, you had a very soothing voice to start the show. Good morning, everybody. This is Soft Talk 105.7 with Jesse and Curtis. We're here to make your dreams come true.
Well, hopefully not all of your dreams.
How you doing, Jesse?
I'm all right. How are you? Benny clearly has never caught the beginning of the show before.
Yeah, it's always good morning. Speaking of people that are catching the show, we've got Dave Orkin, Vonnie Rotten Picks, Wholesome Warlock. We got Dan out there. Benny is with us. Sig, Carver Customs. The McCoys are watching. They've been winning a lot lately. I don't know if you saw, but they won the other night on I think the Lounge, and then they won on the Saturday Day Live, which is now Saturday Night Live. I don't know what's going on with that show, but the McCoys are doing pretty well. And then we got Chris Durant, and that is all I see for comments right now. So welcome everybody that's watching live and anybody that watches on replay.
Yes. Hello to you, people in the future who are now your current present, but our future. We're in the past or the present or both. All things exist at the same time, right? Something like that. Anyway, man, this light is really messing with me.
You know that every picture of you is a picture of you in the past?
Yes.
It's pretty interesting.
I will never be this young again.
This is the entertainment that we bring to you folks every Sunday. So
yes. So before we get into having some sort of existential crisis, let's welcome our two amazing guests to the show tonight. We have the one, the only, Stevo Begg. What's up, Stevo?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Here representing the brood.
The Rust King himself. Maynard.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing
good.
Excellent.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Awesome. We didn't know if you were going to make it or not. We're like maybe he doesn't know how to use a computer. We don't really know.
I didn't say that.
Use a computer.
I didn't say that.
No, that
was all Stevo. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's true. I did say that.
Probably said that. I wouldn't put it past him.
I probably said a lot worse too.
I'm sure you did. To my face at that.
Well, at the beginning of the show, we do a thing called shelf selections where we pull up some pictures that we saw through the week. So we will pull those up. If you guys feel like commenting on them, have at it. If you ain't got shit to say, then you don't have to. So, but here we go.
Wait.
Oh,
Brian, what am I on? What am I on? What are you saying? I'm not. Am I? Okay.
We ready now?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is my first one. This is Art G Collection. I saw he had posted something in the Cabal about, kind of doing some stuff on Instagram. I also saw they highlighted this on Saturday Day Night Live yesterday. But I had already selected it, so I'm not copying them. I picked it first. If anything, they copied me from not seeing it yet. But
pointing out things that don't need pointed out.
Yeah. Art G Collections on Instagram. Got a cool shot here with the flames, the little dragon in the background. Obviously that Valiant Knight with an awesome pose and really cool diorama piece. So I just thought this was a really cool shot and a good way to welcome people to his Instagram for sure.
Yeah, that is great. I don't know how I missed that. I am following him.
I don't know.
That's beautiful.
That's why there's two of us.
Just
we're like a well-oiled machine.
Oil.
Ugh.
I don't want to talk about oil and me. Yeah, that's amazing. I had to pull that up on my screen so I could see it bigger. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, he's got a couple different shots, like where you kind of turns the camera a little bit so you can see the dragon a little bit more, or so I think it's the one from the Storm Collectibles. So from the, what is that, the Golden Axe series?
Golden Axe, yeah. So
that's
great.
Yep, cool shot. Stevo, Maynard, you guys got anything on this one? Are you ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
No, I think it looks really good. I mean, everybody's using that new night and everything like that, and some people have been doing some really great shots. I don't think you need to be a Steve Buscemi to be able to pose that thing, though.
No, you can get it in a good pose no matter who you are.
Unless you're me.
Next one is Jesse's.
I guess going in the complete opposite direction of a fire-breathing dragon is a dead skeleton knight in the snow. This is man-eating sock. I believe that's Corey.
Man-eating sock 87.
Yeah. I saw this again. It just seeing the snow on the ground and just the figure down in there. It gave off end of Clone Wars vibes for me. Seeing it just like initially, like Vader coming across the destroyed ship at the end and everything. So I just thought, and I like the white accent to the Templar helmet on the cross piece there. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. No pun intended.
Yeah, I mean the best skeleton is a dead skeleton, so I'm a fan of this one. So
I'm kind of happy with the fact mine is alive currently. So
no, good shot though. It's pretty neat. So the Dark Templar, I guess that doesn't have. You're right. They had to paint that on the helmet, right? Like that doesn't have.
Looks like there's some sort of soft good kits with it too, like some sort of cloak like wrapped around the shoulders and going down the back, and some extra belts. Yeah,
that's cool.
Pretty fun.
Eudemus. Next one is mine. This is Eye of Watu. We've had quite a few of his on here. Excellent photographer. This is using some different lines thrown together to create an awesome shot here. I love the special effects of the flight suit there and the ray gun he's shooting at him. It's just really well put together. So you can mix these lines and it looks like they're meant to go together.
I can't tell who the figure is in the background.
Well, I believe it's that Mezco Gomez, but with a different head.
Okay.
So I don't know what the head is, but that's what it looks like to me anyway.
Very cool.
So
yeah, that's fun. The effects, the depth. It feels like a action sequence out of like Guardians of the Galaxy or something.
Yeah, I got to see Trevor's latest photobomb. I haven't checked it out yet because I don't know if any of these are on there, but I love that show and I missed this latest episode. So this one is Jesse's.
This is Pablo. He's got that Waltor the Mad Skeleton sitting on some sort of throne. I loved it. It feels very Sons of the Red Star, like he's just got all this stuff piled up around him. Like there's a drumstick, some sort of dog on the ground with the banner. I just love it just looks like he's welcoming, my mind seeing this picture. It's like the heroes are getting welcomed into this hall, to get interrogated like they'd just been caught or something. And he's just like, yeah, I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, good shot. I love the banner, how they've got it propped up in the background, and all the different wares around him and stuff. Nice little throne setup. And then, you got to throw the smoke in there because, you can't do a shot without some fog and smoke. So, yeah. I mean, the Orange Century from that 2-pack is definitely much better than this figure, but it's a good shot.
Taking the bait.
All right, that's fine.
Come on.
This is my next one. I actually got 2 photos here. It's this is from Diorama Land, and I've got this shot here, which is like the whole thing. And then when you turn it sideways and take the shot, this is the shot that he got from
wow.
that. So
Nice.
so just kind of a really cool dio that he put together, and then afterwards just a nice picture that you get from it. So I just thought that was really cool. Like, I mean, if it was me, like I would have, if I had this diorama, I would take the picture from the front and it would just look, like a toy with a diorama. But you do it this way, and it's like, now it's like seen from a movie. So I just thought that was really cool. I'm not sure where he got these, like the bust, but those are awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They look, I mean, obviously they're probably not actual made out of marble, but like the texture, at least in the picture, makes them look like someone did a really nice job of getting them on, like a marble-like texture to them.
Yeah.
Or whatever that. Yeah.
And it fits in with the character because he has a very Romanesque look to it, Roman or Greek, and it just kind of really fits that vibe. So, and I love those lanterns too. I don't know if those are Carver or somebody else, but those lanterns are really cool. So,
those are pretty sweet.
And this one's Jesse's.
From 97 Parsecs Photography. This is Godzilla. He's got a little jet in his hand. He's stomping through the street. Got the people in the foreground. It feels like it's right out of the first movie from the new universe from, I think, 2014, when he's coming through San Francisco and Hawaii. Yeah, I just thought that was really cool. The light, like the 2 different lighting, from the fire below and the moon or whatever would be lighting above. The little tiny people in the foreground that are blurred out. It's just, it's like the shot you just showed. I'm imagining what this whole set, like, is there a whole city there, or is it just those like 4 or 5 buildings in the background, and it just kind of like cuts off, right out of frame.
Yeah,
I just thought this. I've been watching the new Monarch show, so this one definitely jumped out at me this week.
Is that any good?
I'm enjoying it. It's we can get into a little bit more later if you want. I'd say it doesn't. It's more building the world out around, so it's not as focused on the monsters. It kind of building up how Monarch existed in the world, and what the public knows and all that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah, I agree with the lighting on there. I like how the lighting from underneath is more like warm and yellowish, like it is a fire, whereas the light from up above is more like moonlight, a little bit whiter. So yeah, really good job with the lighting, and like you said, the stuff in the background looks great. I would like to see. I don't know if they've got. They kind of do the behind the scenes stuff. But it would be cool to see what this setup actually looked like. So, but yeah, that's cool. What do you know what Godzilla that is? Did you say?
I don't know 100%. It looks like the NECA had a very large one.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 24 inches or 30 inches from head to tail
Mm-hmm.
that I had for a while. It might be that one, but I can't tell. Like the way it's lit, the only articulation I really see is just that thin dark line around the leg, like the hip joint and the shoulder joint. So I'm not 100% sure which Godzilla that is.
Yeah, he looks like he's been doing some sit-ups. He's got a nice little 6-pack there. So
well, I mean, when you wiggle your tail to move as fast as he does through the ocean, like I imagine that's some good cardio.
Yeah, I could see that. This is my next one. This is a custom Green Lantern made from Mafex figure. And I just thought this is one figure that they don't have yet. They do a lot of DC and Marvel characters for Mafex. They do not have a Green Lantern yet. And I thought the gentleman that painted this up did an amazing job. This is Omniverse toy. and I'm sure they got the actual lantern from another figure, possibly even the head. I don't know if that's a third-party printed head that he painted or if that's one from another figure as well. But the body is definitely a Mafex body that's painted up in the Green Lantern colors. But I just think he did an amazing job. So
nice.
That's really clean. I thought that was an actual like produced figure.
Yeah, I would like to buy this. I would buy this if they threw this out. I think the most recent one they had is a Riddler and Return of the Jedi. Actually, no, I think it's a Mando Luke. And yeah, they do usually put out like 2 a month. And if this was one of the ones that they put a promotion shot out for, I would have went straight to Big Bad Toy Store and bought it because this thing looks fabulous. So
it really does.
I'll say real quick, you don't have to go back to it, but on the 97 Parsec, he does have behind the scenes, like in the featured tabs at the top of his page.
Cool.
And I believe it was the Haya Toys Godzilla in the post.
Gotcha.
So looks like, the main, if you just look at the posts on the page, it's very cinematic. It's in the moment, letting you feel the thing, but he does have behind the scenes, but you have to click on different stuff. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
We got a couple more people join in. Steve Busciotti is here. Joe Gonzalez, Chris Ferrone, Rob Zamora, Bernie Clement, Michael Kaspar, and Eldor has joined for the evening. Welcome, folks.
Hello, folks. And last one for Jesse is this one, and I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked that this was your pick.
So shocked. Let's tell him the story, Curtis. So shocked that when I sent it to him, he was like, "Oh, you picked that one too." I
knew that Jesse. I picked this because I thought it's an awesome shot, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. Michael Xavier killed this photo, but yeah, I had saved this photo as well, and then I was like, "There's no way Jesse's not going to pick this." So if he doesn't pick it, I'll use it. But if he picks it, I wanted to have a backup. So my Green Lantern was my backup pick.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a great shot. So I'll let you take it away.
I was like, Michael always does great shots, and there's multiple images in the series, but it's just really cool. I love that little diorama. Not little, that looks pretty epic. But just the Thistlethorn sitting there with the mug. It's like, is this in the middle of a siege and he's just taking a break, like trying to catch his breath, or is the battle over and he's like toasting his friends that have fallen or what have you? But I just thought it was really cool. And it's like, man, I'd like to be sitting there with him, just taking in the sounds, being quiet, hanging out.
Yeah, this is actually, because like you said, there's like a few different shots here. And this is the one that I picked as well, was him kind of looking down at that mug like that. And it just has a very, like, he's lost in thought. Like he's very much contemplating something, don't know whether he's relieved, whether he's sad or what, but there's definitely some deep in thought going on there. It's just a lot of emotion in this one little pose. So I really liked it quite a bit, and it makes me a little irritated that I could not find a Thistlethorn at Legion shop, and I'm still missing, but I'll find one eventually. So, and I couldn't.
Any thoughts or comments from you guys?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I like it. I like the lighting and everything like that. That's something that when I've taken pictures, I've only taken them on a camera phone. So even though I've watched like tutorials from Nate and Trevor, I've never been able to do lighting, and I'm too cheap to actually buy a camera. So when I see stuff like this and I see people that take whatever scale they use for the photos and everything, it just makes it look real world. So I always enjoy shots like this.
It's an amazing shot, even though it's got the worst figure in the line. But
this is gonna get ugly.
Which one of you, Jesse? Was it you or Sean during the "My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me" podcast said "dishonor on your house"?
Probably Sean.
Okay.
Maybe. If I said it was because I heard him say it somewhere else.
I knew it was one of you that said it.
And then I couldn't get away without showing off my little pick here for Thanksgiving. I hope that everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving, enjoyed themselves some dwarf or turkey or Dwarfkin. So
man, if you would have known what I just like, I told you I saw the movie Thanksgiving this afternoon. This picture is taking on a different meaning to me now, and I kind of want to throw up.
So there you go. That's our shelf
Awesome
selection
shot,
for the
though.
week. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, even the dwarf fans. So
Is that just
Chris is
revenge
like,
for
"Boo."
Anthony's very friendly post where he has like every other race's head on a spear?
no, I did that beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
I just thought it's funny he ruined all those figureheads just to get that petty point across. It was pretty funny.
I mean, if you look at it, it's all like figures that had bonus heads that he probably just had sitting in a box. So, he didn't, it's not like he took like a main figurehead. Like he didn't take like a Vorthog and drill through the head or something. Yeah. But
Well, pretty soon that head's not going to be worth anything. So.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
Oh, Vorthog. Sorry, I thought you said
Gorthok.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all sound the same. All those orcs. Damn orcs.
Just because it's getting the All-Stars treatment, so everybody will have plenty of that head.
That's true. So, Stevo.
Yeah.
You are one of the admins over in the Brood.
Yep.
You want to talk a little bit about that and what that is for people that may not know?
So the Brood is the faction group for the Lithia's Broods for the vampires. We do all things vampire, but we saw a bunch of other factions come up, and right before the end of the year, around December of last year, Jonathan Hughes and Kilbo Baggins got a hold of me and said, "Hey, we know you're pretty into the vampire faction. Would you like to be a admin?" And I usually do what everybody else. When somebody else asks me to do something, I'm like, "Why? Like, why me?" So they invited me, and we built up everything. And Jonathan and Kilbo are really great customizers. Everything that they do. We also got Michael Horvath in there, who runs a store, and then I'm what I describe as the mouthpiece of the group. Hey, Dave. Yeah, that was a lot of fun handing out those Cabal shirts. Appreciate it. But yeah, we just it's just another faction group. Just past 600 members, so it's a lot of fun. We got a lot of interactivity in there. We've done giveaways. We've done all kinds of stuff.
Cool. We had a little bit of static on your mic there, but it seemed like it cleared up right at the end. So, but
Okay.
we got the gist of it. So we're good. So what was it that drew you into the vampire specifically?
So before I actually started collecting legions, I started doing a lot of research on them, and somebody told me about Source Horseman, and Baron Volgar 2.0 was the figure that I saw that immediately drew me in and went, yeah, this is 100% I'm in. I just got to figure out, Maynard and I both have a friend, Scott Wiles, who's a dealer at toy shows and everything like that. So he was kind of like that plastic pusher going, yes, come buy these from me. Let me draw you in. So Volgar 2.0, and then looking at the bios and everything for the different factions, the Aether faction I love the Necronomicus faction, but the vampire, I love the stories behind all the figures and everything like that. I like the fact that she's one of the 4 Risen. So yeah, that's basically what drew me into it. Once I saw Volgar 2.0, I knew that was going to be a big thing for me to collect them.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Nice.
So you haven't been collecting for terribly long then, about what, 2-3 years?
No, March of 2022 is when I started collecting legions.
Oh wow. So
Yep.
About 1.5 years. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. But you've been around it for a while. I mean, you hang around that toy group that, kind of has a lot of those, right? I mean, between Scott and a few of the others.
Yeah, I've known Scott for years and everything like that. And when he would sell them, I would look at them and be like, okay, I never knew how many different accessories Sorry, I'm reading the comments. No, I didn't realize how many accessories and how versatile each figure was. And then slowly Scott, I want to say, like, wore me down.
Yeah.
And the night before, Maynard and I went to a show that Scott was doing. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna go get my first Legion. I'm gonna pull the trigger and get everything."
Yeah.
I won money. I won money at a casino and then bought 3.
Yeah.
So
So you won money
yeah,
and then you
and then-
lost all your money for the future.
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. I just threw it down the hole. Just said, okay, you know. But that's where I
want
also
some
got
money,
to
so I'm going to
Travis.
make a terrible life decision.
No, it was the best
So-
decision I think I've ever made. Trust me.
I'm gonna piggyback off of that, Stevo, since you said you were gonna go get your first. Maynard, had you had already been into it at that point, so were you going along as like moral support, or was that when did you get into him?
A month before Stevo.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was just not available that day to go to the show with
Okay.
me. So, and then Scott Wiles took us to meet Travis, and now here we are.
Yeah,
I
Nice.
feel like that's a whole different story.
that's about it. I mean, but like all the stuff
Oh,
that
okay.
happened afterworld, it's all Scott's fault. I love him, but it's completely Scott Wiles' fault for everything.
Screw that guy.
So Maynard, when you got in, it wasn't too long after you got in then that you started really customizing, correct? Because like you've been
Not
doing it
long.
for over a year now.
I was, I don't know, maybe 6 months in.
Mhm.
I was kind of afraid to touch them at first to do any customizing because I was really new at customizing. And, you know, I wasn't getting them right from the Horseman, so they were expensive.
Mhm.
Well,
And then once you did, I mean, tell us about the Rust King, because that is your moniker now.
yes, sir. I wish I remembered who gave it to me. There was someone in the cabal. But looking at these skeletons, my brain says, you know, which is so stupid. It's a fantasy line, but bear with me.
Yeah.
That, how can he be rotted till there's no flesh left at all? Nothing, no muscle, no nothing but bone. Yeah, this armor shiny and pretty.
Yeah.
That I want to make it, you know, all rusty and look like it's been laying there for 100 years. So I did a little research. I spent days looking at rusty armor on the internet before I touched a brush to a figure, and then here we are, about a year and a half later.
Beautiful. So I know you had some stuff for sale at LegionsCon, correct?
Yes.
And you were at, is it Lenny's table?
I was at Ferone's table, you know, the
Oh.
guy talking shit about me right now, and
Okay.
I mean,
well, at least he didn't say that you were watching
not total
Twilight.
shit.
So
just, you know, I run around in glitter paint on the weekends, but hey,
I wasn't gonna pull that comment up.
Promised. I thought we were friends. I questioned the friendship.
There's no friendship. There's no friendship.
And then you know you were selling at LegionsCon. Now you guys are going to MesquiCon, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And do you guys have a
If anybody
booth
doesn't
there
know-
for this
If Scott has a booth, we're not entirely sure yet, but if Scott has a booth, we would be helping. I have an alternate plan. So, I mean, I'm going to be there Friday night and everything like that anyway. So, if I don't work with Scott, if Maynard and I don't do that, I do have an alternate plan. So, we'll be there the whole weekend.
So if there was somebody on this show that was kind of, you know, hemming and hawing about whether they should come to MesquiCon, what would you say to that person? Like, what would be the selling point that you would give to them to really say, hey, you really need to be there?
The gap in between LegionsCon and MesquiCon, when you have that little, you know, LegionsCon blues afterward, really makes up for it, because as many people from LegionsCon is going to be there, it's a lot of the same people that can make it because of all the, you know, everybody that we have in the Midwest. But it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's pretty much everything that we do at LegionsCon. I mean, the con itself isn't centered around Legions, but with all of us being there, it's the nice way to kind of get over that. Like, okay, you got like 3-4 months after LegionsCon, you know, you're going to see all these people. And then up until PowerCon decided not to do one for 2024, between MesquiCon and PowerCon was another nice little gap, and then PowerCon to LegionsCon, it kind of rounded out the year. But Jesse, you definitely should just go.
Okay. Curtis just needs to stop being a badger about this. I want to go. It's not about whether or not I should go. It's whether or not I can make it happen.
Gotcha.
You have plenty of time.
Well, I have plenty of time, but you know,
it's about the transportation, I believe, more than anything.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But
flights, I just looked up flights, and flights are going to run me about what I need to get new tires. So, you know,
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
No, because I can't take flights to work.
Yeah. What I will say, I was having a conversation with Mr. Bouchatti earlier today, and I really,
Who's that?
That's the Lord.
Did you just downgrade him?
No, he's the Lord. To
Mr.
Oh, sorry. With the PowerCon not happening this upcoming year, I know last year was kind of a first step for MesquiCon in terms of having the horsemen there, trying to make it a kind of a Legions get together, because it really hasn't been that in years past. And it did all right. I mean, the horseman table did really well. The alternate, like, customizing type tables, I don't think it was super booming, but it was more of an educational show. And I know, Jesse, you've helped out Wolf King with quite a few where, you know, some of them it's just like everybody comes in and they already know Legions, and they're customizers and they're painters and they're photographers and all this and that. Mm-hmm. And then there's other shows where it's more educational and you're trying to show people, like, this is what this line's about, and here's how you can pop and swap them, and here's, you know, the extra part, the third party parts that you can. And it was more of that kind of show last year. But I know this year they're hoping to get even more people coming, you know, from that are really huge Legions fans, and really kind of grow that. And without PowerCon this year, hopefully that'll be, you know, that kind of one meeting spot, especially in the Midwest, you know, where people can get together and kind of spend some time with one another, to like Steve was saying, bridge that gap between now and next year's LegionsCon. So we'll see how it goes. But, you know, March 16th, if you don't already have it on your calendar, put it on your calendar. If you live anywhere in the Midwest or close to the Midwest, I would highly encourage you to be there. Horsemen are definitely going to be there, so they're going to have a table. And we're hoping that it's going to be a really good turnout this year. So beautiful. That was my Pete McCarthy spiel. So how'd I do?
I mean, that was great.
Oh yeah.
I could be louder like Pete so that people will think I'm funny.
We all have headphones in our ears. You don't need to be louder. We can hear you.
Well, Pete doesn't need to be louder either, but he thinks it makes him funnier.
Depending on who's talking around, he sometimes does need to be louder.
I really hope his microphone works this year for MesquiCon, because I know he was just belting out all the announcements.
Yeah. So what else? Like, what did you guys collect when you were younger? Like, what was your go-to things when you were kids?
It'd be easier to ask me what I didn't collect when I was a kid.
Yeah.
What didn't you collect when you were a kid?
Started with Migos, of course. And then Star Wars came out, and I fell in love with them. And then G.I. Joes and Thundercats, Silverhawks. I mean, pretty much everything. Motu, of course. But I sold all that stuff off to fund my Marvel Legends collection. And Hasbro pissed me off with their price increases. I thought $20 was pushing it. 25 is, I could buy a Legion build for $25. Why am I going to buy one of these? I mean, I still have a ton surrounding me here, but
yeah,
pretty much nothing but Mythic Legions now, and customizing them and hanging out with awesome people I met because of these. And Stevo.
Yeah, I did mention Stevo because he's more than awesome.
In the same town.
Yeah.
Well, we live in the same town. He lives like 3 miles from me, but we're not that awesome where we can be in the same room to do this.
Sean lives literally like 2 minutes down the road from me, and like we once did an OffWorld, one of the first OffWorlds, I think, from like he was in my living room and I was at my table here, and it was awful because we were like feedbacking off each other's mics, so we're just like, we're never doing this again.
So I think that's interesting though that you collected so many lines, because usually what I find is that either folks were like 3 3/4 scale people or like 6-inch type people. So the fact that you collected both is kind of interesting. You didn't have really a preference. You just like whatever was there, you were playing with it.
Pretty much. I mean, I missed out on the 12-inch GI Joe. Those were my favorite as a kid. I had a bunch from my older brothers and my older cousins, but
yeah,
they were old, beat up, missing stuff, and I don't know, just the huge collecting started with Star Wars and the movies. I mean, I was 4 years old when that came out, and tell people it's like one of my first most vivid memories. I remember asking my dad when Vader comes on screen, "Who's that?" Like, my dad has a clue. He's just watching it for the first time. No, that just sucked me in, and then the toys, of course, and then I don't know. I've always been fascinated with toys. Obviously, I mean, here I am, a 51-year-old man surrounded by 900 action figures in this room. So
did you take a break from collecting at all, like from when you were a kid till now?
When I was a teenager, like most. I mean, I still picked up the random thing here and there, and then I got big time back into it when Marvel Legends came out, because superheroes are my first love. Love them still to this day.
Yeah.
And, the whole Walmart Giant Man thing pissed me off, so I didn't buy any for 14 years. And this is going to tell how much of a giant nerd I am. I'm a huge Alpha Flight fan. That's my favorite superhero team of all time. And people were like, "Are you from Canada?" No. My first comics I bought instead of reading my older brother's stuff. And I saw that box set, and of course I bought that. Well, then I had to have Guardian. Then I had to have the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure. And then next thing I know, I'm buying 9 million Marvel Legends on the weekly. That's even though I became friends, actually. We've known each other, Stevo, going on 20 years now? I think
we lost him.
But anyhow, you and I have been acquaintances for a long time. I got
Either
back
that or he just doesn't want to admit that you're friends.
Yeah, probably not. But yeah, we go everywhere. But anyhow, and we started hanging out a lot because of toys, going to toy shows and shops, all of this.
I'm having audio trouble. I'm trying to fix that.
Sometimes if you pop out and then pop back in, that'll fix it. Just FYI. So anyhow,
we have a question about the Walmart Giant Man thing. Look at that.
Yeah,
was that the Build-A-Figure, or was that
the Build-A-Figure that was a Walmart exclusive, and then had to get a variant to finish him, and then I was missing like 4 or 5 pieces, and then they just disappeared from the stores.
It was like the early 2000 ones, right?
2000,
early to mid. So yeah, okay.
Yep.
When they had like every individual toe articulate and the weird mid hand flaps.
Yes.
Yes.
But he's on my shelf now.
I was unaware of that. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I had a bunch of those at one point. And I remember doing the Build-A-Figure for the Sentinel. Can't remember if I did. I think I had most of Galactus just because I was getting some of the characters, but I don't know if I ever finished Galactus from that wave or not. I don't remember the Giant Man one though.
Lucky man.
And that I'll say this, that the Alpha Flight pack is great. My only complaint was Amazon shipped it like 2 months before they were supposed to, so it hit my account before I was expecting. But that was I eventually parted with it, but that was a great set. I loved Puck, just being how articulated he was for how small he was great.
I just hate the head on the one from that pack. He looks like Super Mario.
Yeah, he kind of did. I got a question from Maverick here. When is Curtis going to convince Lynn to make more CurtisCon shirts? I know he said he's going to put them on there. What I can tell you is this sale that they just did, the Wolf King Custom just had for Thanksgiving. was probably the biggest sale that we've ever had. We had a ton of orders that came in. He's got a lot of shipping to do, so it's probably going to be a little bit. But yeah, Badger Len, he said that he's definitely going to put him out there. So
no, don't badger Len.
Badger Len. Just
No.
maybe give him a couple days and then badger him. So I'll badger him too. So we got you back, Stevo. Are you there? Can you hear us? Nope, guess not. So what else are you into? I know I mean, Maynard, like besides toys and stuff, are you still read comic books? Or are you is there any shows that you're watching or anything like that you're
I
into?
still read comics. You know, the new Alpha Flight run's been pretty decent.
Yeah.
You know, big time into Harleys. That's my expensive hobby.
Get him.
Yeah, Stevo, you might be a little bit behind. You might want to like leave the stream and then come back, and that might catch you up. So,
I'm here.
Harley.
I don't know.
I hear that can be a little expensive.
My end or not, but I can hear like bits and pieces.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Stevo. You're not really moving anymore, but hey.
I'm gonna message Stevo if you want to keep going, Jesse.
So Harley, like, what is like from the Batman the animated series? No, I'm kidding. What got you into Harleys?
My dad's always been into motorcycles and grew
Okay.
up around them. You know, he bought me a dirt bike when I was a little kid and kind of expanded from there. Oh,
Nice.
He's like all the way gone now.
Yeah, that's usually the best way is like to leave, close the app, and then restart the whole thing. Usually that clears it up.
Yep. It'll be Curtis Con 2024 soon. We still got a little bit of time before that. Yeah, I mean that I can't even imagine being into motorcycles. That would probably be a little bit of an expensive hobby. Do you work on them too, or you just like?
No.
Okay.
I used to when I was younger, but you know, that's why I work for 30-something years. I have to pay someone else to do that stuff now.
Gotcha. That's what I would think would be expensive, is if you were actually like, working on them and you had, several of them around that you're, piecing together or rebuilding or whatever. But cool.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I'm too busy playing with toys. That's the best part about winter.
Well, at least you got your priorities in the right order.
Yeah,
that's true. So did you pick up anything interesting while you were at LegionsCon?
Well, I didn't get the one thing I really wanted. There was this guy selling this awesome Templar. Well, not selling, had this awesome Templar that he wouldn't sell.
Yeah.
And I tried, and he was like the biggest asshole I've ever met in my life. He's like, nope, you can't have it. And so now my collection will never be complete. Now I'll cry about it. Every time I see him, I'll have something to say about it. And I'm sure he's realized that he's met me more than once. So
yeah. You know what I find interesting about that is like our styles are completely different. Like you work on these skeletons and try to rust them out, make them all like grungy and worn and beaten. And like, I like these Templars that are just like clean and crisp lines and everything. So the fact that you like that aesthetic when you paint something completely different, kind of blows my mind. But I have
zero talent. So I can make it look like crap. I just can't make things look good.
No, because I do the same thing though. I look at your stuff and I'm like, man, that's really good. I like the rusted out stuff, but it's just not. It's not something that I feel like I'm good at. I tried it one time. You got the one head that I've ever rusted out. And yeah, I was like, I just don't know that this is for me. But
and I've got a body coming for him, so he'll be on the shelf before too much longer.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I went a little crazy with the Black Friday deals there that were being posted into the Cabal and got a little stupid, but
yeah.
What's your most anticipated pickup, or was it just like customizing fodder?
Well, no. I found a Keltis cheap on the Cabal.
Oh,
wow.
Got
Nice.
him in Friday, and then I'm like, you know what? I had 6 Motu tributes at that time. I have 10 up there now, and 2 more that I bought from the Black Friday that are coming in the next few days. Hey, he's back. Can we hear you now, Stevo?
I'm gonna try this again.
I mean, we could see him.
He said something. Try this again. I can hear him.
I can't hear him at all.
Yeah.
Now I can.
The worst case scenario, Stevo, if you can hear me, you may try jumping off your computer and jumping on your phone. Sometimes that works too. So
This is
Nothing else.
hey,
Walter. Put you on speakerphone, buddy.
Hey, Walter.
You hear me now?
we can. You're just like really delayed.
Look at Walter jumping on here telling lies.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Stevo and I are here. We're nice, dude. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Rob says, "What does this Templar look like?" Well, I had 2. I'm guessing he's talking about the Judge that I did, which I've got pictures up on my Instagram if you're interested. The other one was just a Templar version of me, which
That's the one. Templar Curtis is the one I want.
Nobody wants a Templar version of me.
I wanted it bad. I honestly thought I was joking with you. No, I wanted that on my shelf.
Would you rust it up, or would you leave it as is, all pearly and untouched, never seen battle?
No. I love his customs. I still have one from you either yet, Jesse. Someday I'll get one of yours.
One of my what? Oh, a custom of mine?
Custom.
Okay. I'm not going to make a Templar of myself.
No, but I like getting them from guys I admire their work, and I've got a ton of them.
Well, how about we do a trade at some point?
We could do that. I do a lot of that with John Hughes. We've done a lot of trading back and forth. That's how I got a Valgard and an Ori. He painted up customs for me because I wasn't seeing those kind of prices. I just can't talk myself into $400 or $500 for an action figure.
We got Chris here telling us that we need to ask you about SlasherCon 95.
I have no idea. Must be some inside joke I don't remember.
Oh, shoot. Okay, and then another question for you. What unreleased skeleton are you most looking forward to?
I don't remember his name, but the dwarf.
Oh, the one from
Scully?
Yes.
Yeah, from the All-Stars wave.
Yeah, that thing is so awesome. Matter of fact, when I did my rusty dwarf, I was going to cut down skeleton legs and make them dwarf legs. I saw that was coming. I'm like, well, then I don't have to risk screwing up some skeleton legs trying this for the first time. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Let the pros do it.
There you go. It's a lot easier when you have the parts.
That's a sweet looking figure.
Yeah, because actually the dwarfs are what brought me into the line. I went over to Scott's house one day because when I first saw these at a table at a local show, Scott had them there. I saw, I'm horrible with their names, so I don't ever remember them. But the Trapjaw tribute figure.
Chrono.
So I'm looking at these going, what are these weird Motu knockoff things? I mean, what the hell am I looking at? And he starts telling me about them. So I was over at his house one day and saw the dwarfs and kind of lost my mind. I saw the skeletons, and I'm like, them are awesome too. So, having a dwarf skeleton is going to be like from them, not what I made, is just going to be like the best thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I might make that head I got from you into a dwarf skeleton.
All right.
He's got a beard, so
he does. He does. That'll work.
Rob, you don't have to worry. I'm that figure's not going anywhere until I die.
And does he have dibs on it when you die? Or is that,
I don't know.
Is that too morbid?
I mean,
all right,
we can arrange
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm fine now. I tried to use
Beautiful.
different technology, but yeah, now you see my big fat head better.
Yeah, that's kind of the last resort when people can't get their computer working for whatever reason. Just jump on the phone. That it seems to work. So
I'm glad you're back, Steve. I can't do this without you. This whole toy adventure.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
You'll
be all right.
I feel like I just set myself up to get like murdered.
Oh yeah,
murdered for the best reason, because like people, it sounds like people want some of my stuff that I've made, and they want to kill me so they can get my stuff. So I mean, that's kind of a compliment, right?
Yeah, I want Ryan Gonzalez has got one of those the stairwell sets from Crashbox that they only put out for a super limited time. And he's done a few shots with it, and you can't get it anymore. And so I asked if I could get it when he dies, and he said that he told Amber to bury it with him. So so he's protected. He doesn't have to worry about me taking him out because he's taking it with him anyway. So that's all you got to do, Jesse. Just tell everybody that you're just going to take those with you.
I'm not going to take anything with me. I just don't, because then they'll dig up my grave, and I just don't want anybody to work that hard for something I have.
Get cremated. Problem solved.
Cremated with them in the casket.
Yeah.
Or in the wooden box.
Let's roll with this morbidity for a moment. Like what my dream funeral would be. Did anyone ever see the movie Eulogy? With it's a comedy. It's a dark comedy with the family comes together because the father has died.
Is that where they're trying to shoot the arrow at the
arrows? Yeah,
boat and they can't hit the boat. Yeah,
yeah.
Yes,
Ray Romano's got twin boys that are like total little monsters, and yeah, they pour gasoline like in the casket, and they're like they're all just standing on the shore of this lake talking, having this conversation. Like it's a picnic in the afternoon, and the kids just keep whoosh. Loosen arrows, and they keep missing. All of a sudden they hit and boom, and it goes all over everybody.
Yeah, blows his body all over. I found out because that's how I wanted to go, or not go, but that's how I wanted my funeral. And then I found out that there's like no place in the U.S. where you can actually do that. Like
no, you can't do a Viking funeral. You can't do anything like that. Even though when the lead singer Guar died, they did it in Virginia anyway because they just paid the fine. They didn't care.
Oh, gotcha. Well, and I read the reason why they don't. The reason why they don't let you do it, from what I read, was because the fire doesn't get hot enough to totally turn the body into ash. And so basically you just get like this burned up body washing up to shore somewhere. And it freaks everybody the fuck out. So
now I want to do that even more.
Yeah. Somebody's on the beach having a picnic, and then just charred corpse comes in. You want to be the start of a horror movie? Yes. Yes. Why not? Yeah, why not?
Oh shoot. Yeah, you're some small town sheriff finds this burned up corpse on the banks of the river, and they're trying to figure out who murdered him, and it's just a Viking funeral from some old man that died.
All right, Rob, since you are so into that figure, if you find the parts for me to remake her and get someone to custom sculpt a head based on the model actress Lena Kovalenko, I will trade you that.
There you go. Just remake it.
Yeah, I'll paint it. You just find me the parts and that head sculpt.
So what did I miss? Maynard talking about stuff again?
Yeah,
I have about Flash Fest 95 or something.
Yeah, some shit. I don't know what he was talking about.
I have what I consider to be Zombie's best work right here, which I posted for Anthony earlier, which is Fibular, the Dwarf Hunter. So fantastic piece. Highly recommend if you need a zombie piece in your collection. Reach out to him. I know that he's typically very busy with commissions and customs and things that he's doing himself. But if you can acquire a zombie custom, highly recommend. So,
Man, you were coming in hot for House Seal this weekend.
It's one of my favorite figures. Like I just love this thing. I saw a picture of it. I guess it was one of those where they did those like bashes on the old forums where they had like just taken some parts and put them together in Photoshop and stuff. And I saw this one and I was like, this thing is fabulous. And I reached out to Zombie and was honored that he was willing to make that for me, and he did an amazing job. So
I thought you were like Anthony and you threw your skeletons away now.
no, this one's cool because he kills dwarves. So yeah, like I'm not a huge
I can get behind that.
I'm not a huge skeleton fan, but if a skeleton hunts dwarves, then he's cool. So because on the hierarchy of races, skeleton is above.
No.
So. unless they're gray dwarves, the Duragars are cool. So,
oh boy,
I like them.
I mean, he's not wrong.
How did you guys become friends?
So what?
Toys. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we had a mutual friend that we met through, and we've known each other for like almost like what Maynard, like 15 years now.
At least, yeah.
And I knew he collected, but at the same time, and I'll get in the story later, but at the same time, he stopped collecting. I've been collecting since I was a kid, but randomly on one of the, I can't remember if it was a local one for Indiana or if it was just one of the other toy groups I'm in, I saw him post that he's looking for a Black Knight, and I'm like, oh shit, Maynard, what's up? You started collecting again. I got you. So we met up at like Walmart or something like that, and I don't even know. I think I gave it to him for like $10, and I said, here, man, you're restarting your collection. If you need anything, because at that point I was into Marvel Legends full force and have a lot of them, like just ridiculous amounts. So I said, hey, if you need anything, if you need any help, who to go to, trades, whatever, just let me know. And it was nice because at that time there was only like 2 other people that I really did a lot of deals with on the regular. So having somebody that was local that could go toy hunting with and trade off and like, oh, hey, you got this, I can pick this up for you. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great. Now we've become really good friends, and because of toys.
That's we've talked about it quite a bit on this channel, but it's amazing what this community is. That you get into it because of the toys, but then you make all these friendships and meet people, and you go to a place like LegionsCon, and it's just like the show ends and everybody's still just kind of hanging out and having a good time and enjoying each other's company. So
when we went last year, it was unreal. I had a blast, and we were like, this is just every year. As long as they do it, we're going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just
after.
Go ahead, Stevo.
No, I say after he got into it, and I got to a month later. I think PowerCon of 2022 was the first like Horseman event that we went to there where they're going to be there.
It was.
And then I think after that was like the big decision where we're going to go. You know what I mean? We're going to go to LegionsCon. We're going to do all this. And if we're going to do this, we're at least going to blow money together.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
About Scott.
Well, yeah, because when November of 21, I was with Scott in Grand Rapids, Michigan, helping him do the Grand Rapids Comic-Con. And the entire time that Saturday or the Friday, he's watching G-Con on his phone, upset because all those other guys from Michigan were all in Muskegon. So, or not Muskegon, all those guys from Michigan were all in Jersey at that LegionsCon. He wanted to go so bad, but he's like, I want to do this con, see, first. And now that's pretty much that's what our year is planned around, is what is everybody doing, but November is this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those 2021 I didn't go. And I kicked myself for it afterwards. Because I just saw how much fun everybody else had. And even though I was a little nervous just because of anxiety and different stuff, I committed to going in 2022. And like you said, it's one of those things that once you experience it the first time, like I'm never going to miss a year, So yeah. Andy the Collector is saying we're in Indiana. He thought he was the only Hoosier in the collecting world.
LaPorte, Northwest Indiana, like 45 miles from Chicago.
Gotcha. And you guys are both in the same town?
Yep. Yep.
Nice.
I lived near Chicago for a while.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Joliet. Shorewood.
Joliet Jesse. That's what I'm calling you from now on.
That's what my brother in Florida started calling me that because it would come up Joliet on the caller ID.
Yeah.
And the only connection he has to Joliet is the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
So he kept telling my nieces and nephews, and this is my brother who's a pastor, by the way, works at a church. He kept telling them all that I was in jail and that, I mean, they didn't believe him, but they weren't, So, but he was telling them, well, the little one did, because apparently he told all the people at church that like their Uncle Jesse got out of prison, was coming down to visit them. And he had to change the story up real quick and explain to people that I wasn't actually in prison. It was just a joke. So yeah.
He could have ran with it and made that, an interesting story.
I'm not that quick on my feet. Yeah.
Jesse came to visit, ate 2 whole chickens.
And a Coke. Four whole fried chickens and Coke. And some toast.
Good times.
Van is saying he needs a Just Shelve It flannel. It's an interesting idea.
And he's also saying I suck.
Yeah, I pulled that up and Jesse took it down. But
aw,
how do you know?
Because
maybe you just clicked on it too hard.
Relationship. He's my lucky little leprechaun.
Yeah.
He disappeared in the entirety of Friday. Just gone. Van just bye.
Nice.
We love you, Van.
Purple gang.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know how a flannel with a giant pink rabbit on it would work like that. Like I'm not all about like dressing to match and all that jazz, but that sounds a little, I don't know.
You need that embroidered like giant on the back of a flannel. I'd wear the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Make it a flannel vest.
Maybe just like a patch on the flannel, I could see that.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I can see patches. I can see patches. I got to find a patch guy or girl or whatever.
I think Lynn does some patches.
Does he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he might have you hooked up as soon as he's done with CurtisCon shirts.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not going to take long. There's only like 3 other people that want it. So,
ooh,
they seem to be in pretty high demand. I know my family will buy them.
I think Maverick was talking about them too.
3 very loud people. It's like answering to the internet trolls.
It's like dwarf bands. There's like 5 of us, but we're just really, really freaking loud.
That's true.
No, I want everybody to have CurtisCon shirts too because I had fun drawing it.
It was good. It was good.
I originally had written the word wink on the corner of your eye where to kind of have that like ting, sound effect, but like I didn't know if that would translate, so I left it off.
That's funny. I kind of wish it did now.
So you gotta make variant shirts of that now.
Every year it's a new color.
Yeah, we just need one every year from now on.
Mm-hmm.
I told him that. He said he's planning on doing one for 24. So, but then he said he was gonna, instead of doing CurtisCon, he was gonna do DarlaCon. So, because I keep getting shit that everybody keeps telling me that my wife had better stuff than I did at the table. So,
well, I mean, no,
that's a weird request, Joe. Van, did you hack Joe's account?
Probably did.
It's going to be exciting to see Joe next year too at LegionsCon.
Yeah,
that's going to be.
Well,
fun.
now I have to worry. I told him he could be my roommate, and now I'm worried I'm going to have to like lock down my clothes while he's there.
Oh yeah, he wants a Jesse Warren flannel. I can
Make
see
sure
that.
he and Rob don't team up to like snuff me out in the night.
I mean, you're still moving up in the world because your roommate this past year wanted to see you in a bathtub. So, you know,
He didn't want to see me in the bathtub. He wanted to get in the bathtub, and not just with me, as many people as we could fit. And that's, I like people. I don't
But
like
it's
being in tight.
LegionsCon. You gotta, open yourself up to new experiences, Jesse.
It's
It's
like Vegas.
Legions Con, not Leeches Con.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe for some people it was, but
I gotta agree with Stevo here. I think you need to open yourself up to new experiences, Jesse.
Everybody saw what set up Jesse and tear down Jesse look like, so you got to show that 12 people in a bathtub Jesse now.
Yeah, quit being a prude. What's
okay.
wrong with you?
If you don't like set up and tear down Jesse, you will not like 12 people in a bathtub.
I honestly don't believe that story, but I heard it from enough people because I'm pretty sure I said something to you at setup, and I got kicked out of there 3 times, and I just kept going back in because I'm a dick. But I think I did say one thing to you about the ferret, and you were just like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah," and then you went back to doing what you're doing. You never got upset. Maybe it's just the people that asked you questions.
No, you didn't like hand me something fragile to put in amongst the chaos of all the boxes and packages I had.
I mean, I was done setting up. It was a great time for me. I don't know.
I mean, I walked into the hotel Friday night, and Sean and I had an awesome greeting. Like, that's probably like one of the most memorable moments ever. And then Curtis like, I got something for you. Like 2 minutes in the door, and he comes down and he hands me these boxes of stuff. And I'm like, I haven't even checked in yet. What am I supposed to do with these? Don't get me wrong, it was awesome stuff, but I'm like, I haven't even checked in. I don't have my debit card. I'm kind of stressing out. Now I'm carrying stuff.
I am not what you would call a patient man. I get a bug in my head on something, and it's like I gotta get it out, you know. So, anywho, I was watching Destination Stone's video of
Joe and Ron. They are planning something because they're both going to be their first LegionsCon next year. So
nice.
I'm nervous
Nice.
now. I'm gonna have to hire security.
I was watching the Destination Stone, their new video, and I saw they like came up to talk to you, and you were taking a drink, and you about like choked to death. Have you seen their video of that?
I did. I was listening to it while I was doing stuff, so I
Yeah.
heard them talking. I didn't see that part, but I remember that moment.
Yeah, they like tap you on the shoulder, and you're like, and you almost did a spit take all over your diorama. Gotta love it.
Can I get a
Yeah, I
plus
can't-
one on my Curtis Con t-shirt? I don't know what that means.
Sure, Kent. Just let Len know. Bug him. That's what I'm gonna do. Just keep bugging him. He'll
So
eventually
enough
get
about
there.
set up and tear down Jesse.
I love all Jessies.
And Jesse's okay.
That's a weird thing to say.
I even love Jesse.
What's up, Scott?
Jesse angry with me at all during OffWorld. Jesse. I even love.
All right,
that
come on. This show's not about us.
Okay.
You
So
don't
what
know
else?
that van.
What's up? It's for shirtless Jesse. I don't think anybody's seen that.
No.
Yeah, that's
Well,
just
shirtless Travis.
that's just wishful thinking.
Yeah, I will not go to Travis's house just for the simple fact is I don't want to get in the hot tub.
It's not shirtless Travis you have to worry about. It's just I'm going to go pantsless Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So if I don't like being shirtless, I don't want to be around other people who are completely naked. So
And it doesn't
or
have to
at
be
least-
at his house either.
I will say I did go to Travis's house, and he was not naked. It was very pleasant. He made me an ice water. It was nice. So I don't know that everybody has to worry.
12 hours later, and your butt hurt.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not his type. I don't know. So
You're everybody's type. That little sexy man bun you got going on. Come on.
How does all right, Chris Ferrone's spilling some tea here. Maynard has the most backstory in the Cabal? Or is he just like seeding legends out there to build this up? Or is there something to that?
He's just talking shit.
okay.
because that's
sounds
what
like
he
he's
does.
building you
What
up.
we do together. Friendship with that guy. Yeah, he did those clip-on beards, and I fell in love with him. I've been in the plastics industry my entire life. It's my family business from when I was a small child. So I'm intrigued by, obviously plastic. Have enough of it around me. But anyhow, I thought the engineering was just unreal. And so I was going on and on about him in the cabal like nonstop. So much that I had people messaging me if I worked with him. I'm like, no, I just really like these things. Look how Jesse's frozen. He looks surprised.
No, that's just I'm paying attention and I'm not being distracted by the stuff around my
What-
desk.
So
when you say your
Chris and
family's
I
in the
last year at LegionsCon, and then at the end of LegionsCon, he gave me, I don't know, what was it, Stevo, a half metric ton of 3D printed beards and chest
The beards
plates,
and the different heads and chest plates. Yeah, that's kind of where he got started with all that.
which was great. I spent a lot of time getting better at painting, and then started a friendship. And then he let me sell stuff at his booth this year, so it worked out for me.
That's awesome.
when you said you were in plastics family business, what like doing what?
Mostly plumbing, but we've done a ton of other things. This is a great story. And when I was a kid still, we had a company called South Bend Toys. They made a lot of Star Trek stuff. I had phaser guns. They were laser tag long before laser tag existed. We're talking the late 80s and
Nice.
late 80s, early 80s. And I have, an Enterprise from back then. They made a bunch of little girl toys, made parts for board games. But our bread and butter has always been plumbing for the RV industry.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering because my dad sold plastics his whole career, color concentrate for plastics industry. So
Company, I'm just interested now.
it was started out with Avcor, and then he moved to Chroma.
We've used Chroma color pretty much as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there you go. He was a Chroma salesman. So I don't know that he made it up. Well, he might have made it up into that area. I don't know. But yeah, we like during the summers and stuff, like we would go and he, traveling salesman. So he would hit, all these states and go to these big businesses. Like one of his, a couple of his big accounts where he had an account with Colgate and one with Whirlpool. So he sold them all the color that they would use on their stuff. And so, yeah, interesting. Small world.
Yeah, exactly. I find it really interesting.
Yeah, my mom actually used to work at one of the plants, the plastics plants, and she would come home with certain just a bag full of like the little pellets and stuff, and would make like lightsabers and shit for us. Like she would melt it down and like make like
Nice.
little green lightsabers for our Jedis and stuff and things like that. So yeah, that was cool.
That's neat.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Real interesting learning about the Nepo babies of big plastic here. Pushing toys.
Yeah.
See how it is. For the record, no one in my family that I know of has any connection to plastic.
All right. It's all styrofoam.
Mm-hmm.
It's all plaid flannel.
There you go. That works too. So what else? You guys watching anything right now? You guys got any shows that you're watching or movies that you've seen recently?
What did I'm like halfway through that Scott Pilgrim anime on Netflix. I watched Godzilla versus Kong again on Netflix just because I just wanted to watch it again. I like those movies, like the newer universe,
Yeah,
the Monarch universe. I'm trying to remember anything that I've like finished. I haven't watched Invincible season 2 yet. I was waiting kind of until more episodes came in. I finished a few other things. I haven't really been to the movies. But there's just like other stuff. I'm like really into like true crime shows. So anytime something comes up on Netflix, a documentary about like something stupid, true crime, I'm all into it. And then I'm gonna lose some points here. Like there's like this guilty pleasure I have with the show called The Crown. I don't know why. I just watched every season of it. I don't know.
All right.
Hey, we like what we like.
That's right. That's right.
Not getting any judgment here. I recommended the entire Step Up series. Well, I recommended a Step Up movie, and Curtis watched more than I knew existed.
How many of them are?
There's 7.
I thought there were 6 in a show.
You may be right. No, I think it is 7. I think it's 7
I thought
in
there
a
was
show.
5 movies and a Chinese one.
I think there's 7 in a show, and one of them is the Chinese.
You would
one.
know more than me. You're the expert now.
I watched the
Pitch Perfect
Werewolf
is great.
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah, Werewolf by Night. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, I watched Werewolf by Night, the colorized version that they did of it, and I actually liked it better than the black and white one.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the black and white one was so good. I just can't even bring myself to watch the colorized version.
When you watch the color one, you see like the sets, and it gives you a little bit. It just gave it a little bit more depth. I agree. I did like the color version, or the black and white version. But when you see the color version, it was just nice to see all the detail that they put in the sets, and Man-Thing comes out way better in color than he does in black and white.
Yeah. They did a great job on him.
The only thing I don't like about the colorized version is the way the slow push in on her, the where it widens, whatever it is on her at the end, where the color faded in the first one with the Somewhere Over the Rainbow playing. Like that moment doesn't feel as potent, but I like the way that they colorized it, because it wasn't just like HD modern color. Like it still had that kind of Hammer horror, like real heavy shadows. It like they made it work for the genre as like if it had been made 20 years later.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it, everything, but I just like seeing. There's like I watch certain things at Marvel, and as long as I've been into the comic books and everything else, and I see little small changes that they do, and I say to myself, that's dumb, and then immediately nerd. Like Elsa Bloodstone's red-haired, and they just little stuff like that. I'm just like nerd, like quit complaining about it to yourself. Just enjoy it. Try to.
I'm the same way with her. She's another one of my like lesser known favorite characters from Marvel, and I was disappointed when they did the color fade and she had a red jacket and the brown hair. I don't know if just because the actress maybe she could have put on a wig. She doesn't have to have actual red hair herself, but I'm glad they didn't do like the blonde, the earlier version of Elsa, before Next Wave reinvented her. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching the colorized version, Curtis, I think.
Okay.
Sometimes I like ruin things for myself with that, because my favorite comic of all time is Preacher. I've read every issue. I have things signed by Ennis and from Steve Dillon before he died. I read that comic when I was in high school.
It's hard to get his signature after he died, for sure.
Well, yeah, maybe. But I read that in high school, and it was the absolute most like screwed up thing I've ever read. And I'm like, oh, there's 96 issues. I'm gonna get these, and I have every loose issue. I have every version of the graphic novels they come out, and then the show came out, and I had to stop watching it after like the 3rd episode because I was so. Like anybody that's watched the show that enjoys it, that's fine. I don't like telling people that their opinion is wrong, except for Maverick saying that RoboCop the Total Recall remake was better than the original. But when that Preacher show came out, I had really high hopes, because for about 10 years they tried to do something live action with Preacher. I know at one point HBO tried to do every issue was going to be every issue was going to be an hour-long episode. But there's so much content in there that I'm surprised what they got away with. But that comic is singularly like the most fucked up thing I've ever read. There's so much stuff that they dealt with that I wasn't sure what they were going to even be able to put in the show. But just the characters in the show, just to me, were name only, and none of their attributes from the book that made those characters great were a part of them in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about with that, because like, so for me growing up, I was a huge DC fan. like, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, all that stuff. And I didn't really read Marvel like at all. So when the MCU started and all these Marvel movies came out, like, I thought they were freaking awesome because I had nothing to compare it to. Like, I didn't have that, like, oh, well, they played this guy wrong, or this character should have had more of this kind of personality or whatever, because I had no frame of reference. Whereas when I watch a DC movie, I'm like, these guys can't get anything right. Like, it's very disappointing because you have certain expectations based on your history with those characters. So I think sometimes it's almost better to go in, without that, preconceived notions and stuff like that, and you can just kind of watch it with fresh eyes. So yeah, either that or just DC sucks at making movies. I don't know. It's one of the two.
Their animated stuff is on point, though. I will give DC that. Like, I love their animated stuff.
Good. And I like the WB stuff. I mean, towards the last few seasons of both, Arrow and Flash, it started, kind of going off the rails. But early on, it was really good. And I really liked this Superman and Lois until this past season. This last season was fucking rough, but they've already canceled that. I think it's got one more season coming out and then it's done. But yeah, their TV shows and animated definitely are much better than their movies, though. So there's actually I haven't been to the theater. I think the last movie I saw in the theater was Guardians 3. And there's a movie coming out this Friday called The Shift, and I'm really excited to see that. I really can't describe it other than just to tell you there's you'd have to just watch a trailer, but it looks very interesting, and I'm excited to go see that. So I think that's probably going to be the first thing that gets me out to the theater in a while. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm with you. Like on the Invincible, like I've been trying to watch it. It's hard when you've got to wait a week for another episode, and it's a lot easier if you can just kind of binge that. Like there's certain series that it's okay to kind of have a week in between and think about what's going to happen, all this and that. That's one where I think it flows a lot better if you're able to just watch it one after another. So, and then I did watch Silo recently on Apple TV, and that is really good. The only problem is that it's one of those where there's only one season right now, and who knows when we'll get the next season. It might be a year or two. That's the bad thing with these streaming services. Like when all this stuff was on TV, like you knew that you were getting a new season every year, and now it's like you may get a season and then it may be 2 or 3 years before you get the next season.
And it's 8 episodes.
Yeah. So it just makes it a little difficult to kind of stay in touch with that world. But yeah.
Like Stranger Things. I couldn't even tell you what happened in the last season, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who really couldn't care less anymore.
Mm. Yeah, when you have way big gaps.
Go ahead, Stevo.
No, when you have like really big gaps like that between either like the actor strike or whatever's going on, like how Stranger Things had almost like a 3-year gap in between seasons, you do lose a lot. I think a lot of people maybe lose interest, and then it's cool because it maybe gives you a little opportunity to go back and binge up until like the new season comes out. When the original Marvel shows came out, that was nice because those were usually 13 to 14 episodes. And they went away from that, I think, with Netflix, where instead of getting almost like a full season like you would like a normal big television network sitcom, usually has 22 to 24 episodes. 13 episodes of Daredevil was nice, and then when they start breaking everything down, like, okay, we're going to give you 6, but then you're going to wait 2 years. Like, you have the money to do this, guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's I find that makes it to where I search out for series that I didn't watch that are over, that have a good chunk, 4 or 5 seasons or more, and then I can just binge watch it and just like boom, 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 and just kind of immerse myself in that world. Like I'm one that I never watched Game of Thrones until it was done.
Me either.
And then I was able to watch the whole thing. And I tell you what, if I had to sit there and wait for what people got in that last season, I would have been fucking pissed. So I'm glad I was able to just kind of run through it. Yeah.
I'll say recently I saw the Marvels the day I got home from LegionsCon. And then I went and saw Thanksgiving today. So I've seen more movies in the past 2 weeks than I have in months in theaters anyway. Which is weird because I used to have the AMC A-list or whatever, and I would go to the movie, at least 1 to 2 times a week. And then my theater, like the theaters around here just are not up to my standards anymore. So I just don't enjoy going into the theater as much.
Alexander saying the last good sitcom was The Office. I'm going to disagree with that because I think that I don't know if you've seen it, but Modern Family is pretty damn good sitcom. So if you haven't checked that out, that's a good one. But there's definitely not as many good ones as what there used to be. It used to be, there's 3 or 4 good ones running at a time, and yeah, it's a little scarce now. So
it is.
Welcome back, Walter. How about you, Maynard? Did you get to see anything lately?
I made the mistake of watching Blue Beetle the other night.
Oh God, I watched that. It was garbage.
I got halfway through it and had to go to work or something. I stopped.
I'm a Marvel guy, so I don't know a ton about DC. I love The Flash. I thought that movie was amazing. But Blue Beetle, oh my God, I'm like, that's like, I don't know, what was it, like 10 hours long?
I had to watch it in segments. It was hot garbage. But I wanted to finish it because I wanted to see if it got better, but it never did. It was rough, man. So
and I've been rewatching Cobra Kai again because that's like the best TV show ever in my opinion.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I just love the 80s cheese mixed in with all modern stuff. It's so hilarious.
Dude, I tell you what, if you want some 80s cheese, we were doing on OffWorld on Friday. We did our This Week in Theaters, and one of the movies that came up with this movie called The Wraith, and it's got Charlie Sheen in it. It's like total 80s.
Oh, it's one of the best movies ever, dude.
Oh, you've seen it?
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, I'm about halfway through it, and I'm like, this is fucking, like, I watched it before bed last night. I watched the first half, and I'm like, this is so fucking bad, but it's so good.
It's so bad, it's good. In the car sequence.
It's awesome. Yeah. So,
like, has anybody seen the? I think it was late '80s, mid '80s, whatever, Halloween, or Trick or Treat or something like that. But on the cover of it, like really cheesy. Gene Simmons and Ozzy on the cover, and each of them are only in the movie for like 10 seconds.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't remember the name either.
It's either like Halloween or Trick or Treat. It's some kid gets possessed by the evil spirit of he plays a record backwards. He gets this record from a DJ that says like this heavy metal guy died, and he's got like the actual like wax pressing of the last record. He plays it backwards and he gets possessed, and it is horrible, but it's just on the cover of the movie. It's Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne, and they're like 10 seconds. That's all they're in the movie for. That's all they could afford.
That's like every 80s mom Christian worst dream, worst nightmare is that the kid was going to play some record backwards and get possessed by a demon.
Yeah. Tipper Gore must have like pissed her pantsuit watching that one.
Without spoiling anything zombie, my friend that I saw it with told me that they had to tone down the cruelty because he did some like what do you call it, like screenings to get reactions out of it, so they toned some of the cruelty down to get it more passable. And my friend who I saw it with said that my level of cruelty that I can take is not as much as other people can. So like some of it made me pretty squeamish. Some of it was a little bit more than I wanted to see. But like the overall concept of it, I really enjoyed. I probably won't watch it again. As far as like, it just, quite a few moments, it just made me feel really icky. kind of like the Fall of the House of Usher had similar moments. But
that was another one that was great. After the first one, they kind of did the first death in that was like, I've never seen anybody do that before in a show. So that was like, oh, where are they going to go from here? And then it just kept getting better.
Yeah. When the end of that Red Death episode, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
So you've never seen Cannibal Holocaust, huh, Jesse?
No.
Okay. So
No.
if you
I
could
know
find
all about it.
So if you could find anybody with a copy of it, though, that's the main thing. But I know Eli Roth, when he did Green Inferno, because he was very much influenced by that Cannibal Holocaust movie. Green Inferno was good, but it wasn't what he built it up to be. They were saying, oh, this is going to be Eli Roth's version of Cannibal Holocaust. And it's like, you can't do what they did in the 70s with Cannibal Holocaust. There's no way they could ever redo that.
Yeah.
But I give him props for it. He tried.
Drunk Gizmo Custom says, what was wrong with Blue Beetle? I really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, that's great. I thought it was super cringy. I thought they made him like say things and act as if it were Peter Parker, like the little smarmy replies and retorts, but it just didn't land. And then all of his family, like they start out as just like this like regular Mexican family, but then like they're doing shit with computers and fucking like somehow they're like they turn out to be geniuses. Well, like they somehow like this is alien technology, and somehow they're like able to like program shit in the computers and make weapons and do all this other kind of stuff. And it was just like no regular family just can just do this stuff. Like, you know, I don't know. It was very weird. And then just the personality that the main actor, the way that he played the character, it was really bad, in my opinion. But like I said, if you enjoyed it, that's great. It was not for me. So, but I also
George Lopez was funny.
I like eating raw potatoes. So I mean, you know,
he was the only good part of the whole movie for me, Stevo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that's what I paid attention to. But I don't know enough about the character to where I just didn't enjoy it. I've watched stuff before where I didn't know anything about the character and went into it with those fresh eyes and just went, oh, I really enjoy this. But I don't care to know that much about Blue Beetle. It was just something that's like Mobius, like they gave a third, fourth tier.
What I said,
villain a movie.
That was pretty much what you said.
No, it's just like they're like this ordinary family, but next thing you know, they know how to like tap into alien technology and make weapons. Like,
have you seen Independence Day?
I'm not saying that's realistic either. I'm just saying it was.
Of course, it's not realistic. It's a superhero movie. It's as realistic as Karate or Cobra Kai.
It was rough.
By the way, I love Cobra Kai. It's fun. But there's like, you have to go into that show with a huge level of like checking your disbelief before you got to the parking lot of the building. Because like they have like, what was like Karate Fight High School, the musical at the end of season 1 or 2 or whatever, where like everybody's just
pretty
running
much
through classroom. Like I like it. It
if you didn't grow up in the 80s, I don't think you're going to appreciate the show.
But it wasn't 70-year-old grandmothers reprogramming alien technology to fight off, the bad guys. Like this is
carrying around an alien minigun and
right. Yeah, it's just
talking about some revolution she was in. What one? I mean, there hasn't been a revolution that a woman in her 70s would have been involved in.
Yeah, it was. It just wasn't for me. But anyway, what about you, Jesse? Besides Thanksgiving, you been checking out anything else?
Well, we talked about it a little bit at the beginning because no one's watched it. I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, the Monarch Legacy of Monsters on Apple TV is really good. I know season 2 of is it Invasion is on there. I need to check that out. I like the first season of that. It's
holy shit.
Oh, we are so going to get canceled.
What about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people that absolutely.
I heard it was terrible.
Yeah, I heard
it was terrible.
Bad. Have you seen that one, Jesse?
No, I probably won't.
Oh, okay.
So what was that? Like the IP for
Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh just go public? And is that why they did that?
As long as he doesn't look like, as long as he doesn't have the red shirt, essentially, because that's like the Disney version of him. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh is public domain now.
So if he doesn't have the red shirt, he can murder people. Is basically the.
If he doesn't have the red shirt, he can do whatever he wants, whoever he wants, in any way he wants.
Rick Jones says it's unwatchable. So there you go. I've heard some people that love it, and I've heard some people that absolutely hate it. Drunk as was saying, "Oh, it was terrible."
My high school hasn't been the same since the last big karate fight. And just like, there's so much. Sorry to go back to Cobra Kai, but there's so much in that. It was like, why does no one call the cops? Like, I can understand why teenagers wouldn't call the cops, but like, people's cars are getting set on fire. Like, homes and buildings are getting broken into. Like, it's like, okay, I can understand the kids not wanting to tell adults about this, but like the police like never get involved in anything, which is very 80s of it. It just, there's a little weird juxtaposition there.
I just love the Stingray character, that he's like this middle-aged man that's just beating the fuck out of teenagers. Like, that's great.
Each episode was always like one song away from being West Side Story, though. That's what it fucking felt like at times. Where one of them kids is gonna start snapping. It's like, well, what the hell? Okay, just kick each other's ass. Just go ahead.
Jesus, what makes it so good, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a cheese factor, but then there's like, the
only thing that rubs me wrong about shows like that, like the Cobra Kai and just things like that, is there's typically some beef between two people to where if they just like had a conversation, they could work it out, because one person doesn't know the other person's side. Like, they don't understand like what they've seen or what they heard or what they've experienced. And if they just had a conversation, they could work it out. But nobody fucking talks to one another. Like, they just rather kick each other's asses. And it's like, man, I find myself, whether it's a TV series or a movie, sometimes just going like, just fucking talk to the other person. Just have a conversation with them. You can work this out. I mean,
that's literally the resolution to most movies if they did that, but then it wouldn't be have any entertainment value.
It's just frustrating.
I don't like it when it's a stupid reason, like when people are like, the guy's a doctor or the woman's a doctor or police officer, and like their spouse gets mad at them because they get called to work. It's like, you know what this person does,
right?
Like, yeah.
Or like,
I heard Curtis say, "I hate action movies."
No, that's not it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like
100%.
I just don't know karate.
The police get their asses kicked.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
Oh,
holy shit.
That's good.
I know some
think
stuff
how
I'm
Empire
looking forward to. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, think how Empire would have ended if they just talked to the Luke and Darth just went, "Hey man, you know what? I'm your dad. We gotta bridge the gap, man." And then no intergalactic war, none of that shit. No Ewoks, nothing. End of the series.
Let's reinterpret the Star Wars movie where all the conflict is resolved over like cheesy late 90s, early 2000s like coffee house music and like steaming cups of like cappuccino or something. Or they're just getting frustrated, maybe playing chess or something. And
you want to watch The Phantom Menace, is what you're saying?
No, that had pod racing.
Yeah,
that was about the only action in.
I just want to see two characters having a conversation, not 85,000 in a.
So Andor. Essentially.
Yeah.
Yes. We have Empire budget meetings and everything for about 25 minutes.
Yes.
And then murder, because it was good, but I'm like, I don't want to see a fucking budget meeting about the Death Star. God, well, like the hell.
No, you get Luke and Vader that's sitting down. They're like, so, we haven't really talked much in a while. I guess I'm your dad. What's life been like living on that shithole planet that I also grew up on?
You have a sister. They
Yeah.
put you on the same planet I'm from and didn't change your last name. So, I mean, there's no reason I couldn't have found you.
Yeah.
But he
He's
changed
that
his own
afraid
last
of
name, so
saying.
he was confused.
If Vader and Luke hung out with Big Greg for one night, they could have worked it all out. That's all I'm saying. Like that's it. Just one Friday night with Greg, they would have been good.
Pizza.
Vader might have been kicking up that respirator a little bit more, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Or
Dad, where were you? You lived on a sand planet. I knew you were there. I just couldn't come for you because I would have had to turn the whole planet into glass like we did Mandalore.
And then Tusken Raiders, can't do it, man. They killed Mama Shmi.
Like there's so much stuff that you could go back and complain about with that. Like they knew how important that his mom was to him, like, and they just leave her as a slave. Like they never go back. I understand at the time you couldn't take her with it, but like the next time that we see him, like when he goes back to try to save her, like it's what, 10 years later or something.
Yeah, about
like, so like you're telling me in that time that they couldn't have gone back to try to fucking save his mom and get her out of slavery? Come on.
Yeah, Owen's fighting off stormtroopers and getting, like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru end up being, like fucking MacGyver, James Bond type spies where they're getting away and planning all this stuff to get Luke out of the sand dunes, but they can't go back and get her from the Tusken Raiders. It's just bad writing.
Well, even before she was with the Tusken Raiders, just like when she was a slave, like you couldn't just like buy her out of slavery or, like, come on. I don't know. Whatever.
Intergalactic struggles, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, going back to Tatooine, I imagine is like driving through Pennsylvania for most people.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, because like Luke says in the original movie, if there's a bright center to the universe, they're on the planet that's the farthest from,
Yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't a metaphor. That was legit space science.
Yeah. I mean, plus, the other thing is that Vader couldn't go get Luke because that planet does have a lot of sand. Like there's, I don't care.
I already said that.
Yeah. If his son's there, he can't. Yeah. Yeah. He wouldn't be able to deal with it because it gets everywhere. It's coarse. So, yeah. It's not good.
No.
Yeah. I would imagine taking one of those little, what is it? It's not a speeder. What's the thing that he rides around in New Hope before they meet up with Han Solo? What's that
Land speeder?
Land speeder? Is that what that is?
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man, I bet driving that across just like sand dunes would be fucking terrible. That'd be as bad as Pennsylvania for sure. That would be terrible.
I didn't mean driving across the planet of Tatooine. I meant traveling through the galaxy to get to Tatooine.
Oh, I meant traveling across Tatooine. Like, that's got to be bad. But anyway. Rob.
Oh, boy. Well, it's been a good run. We almost made it to 52 episodes.
See, I told you, and you didn't want to believe me. You were like, "Oh no, you're just."
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
It is.
We're running out of people. We can't help it.
I mean, we could sit here and pick apart Star Wars all day long, but let's let Qui-Gons be bygones. So.
Evan, you're 100% right, and I totally agree with you. And maybe we'll get you on and have a legitimate, serious conversation about that at some point.
I'm trying to remember how the fuck we even got on this. Who started?
it just things happen. Yeah.
Yeah, all roads lead to Star Wars.
Yeah,
And
someone says that like if people had just talked out in Star Wars their problems, it would have been a very different movie.
oh yeah. Love it. Oh my god, I'm having so much fun being on this show, guys. I'm glad you guys asked us to do it and everything because I know I had some technical difficulties earlier. I'm sorry about that. My fucking Chromebook decided to be shitty.
Oh, you're fine.
That's all right.
As soon as you got on your phone, it's been great. So
yeah.
So what else? We got looks like Poxus should be shipping pretty soon. Maybe I don't know if it'll be by the end of the year, but I think they should have it by the end of the year. That should start coming out early beginning of next year. Anything in that wave that you guys are really looking forward to?
Wizards.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, just having wizards in general. I'm all excited.
Wizards.
Having some magic users on the shelf.
Yeah.
I got all my pre-orders after I got all my pre-orders on Big Bad Toy Store because November of 21 when they had that pre-order, I wasn't into them yet. So right after that pre-order ended is pretty much when I got into them. So I had to get the the little bit more expensive ones. But I have Poxus and the horse. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce any of the names because I'm just gonna butcher them. But the Big Blue Dragon,
Rakagor,
the Brute Scale Ogre,
the Tharnog,
Brute
Scale Orc, yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
I'm looking forward to those. I would probably get some of the wizards once I have them in hand, because one thing I've noticed with me and Mythic Legions, and I think some other people are like this too, is I'll see the pictures, and I'll be like, nah. But once I get it in hand, I'm like, well, I was stupid. I should have just, you know what I mean? There's certain ones. So I think once I get a couple of wizards in hand, because I'll wait for Maynard to get the all in and then just go play with his for a minute.
Yeah. I'm not huge on the 2.0 figures. So the little skinny wizards, they don't do a lot for me. But that third guy, the one that people are saying looks like Michael Xavier. Which one's that?
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
What's that?
Samir Scroll Warder.
Yeah, he looks cool. So I like him. And I see a couple people talking about Thrace here. Thrace looks awesome. She looks awesome. But yeah, that Tharnog, I'm just excited to get more brute scale in hand.
Sorry, no, that's Zende. Sorry, Samir's the 2.0 wizard. Zende Amanthir is the 1.0. Sorry.
Yeah. So we'll see. I saw the ones in boxes at Intern, and they looked really good. So
they did, didn't they?
Yeah, they looked awesome. So cool. And then what are we thinking about? I know Jesse and I had talked about this, but it's getting close to December. Last couple of years they've had a figure obscura this time of year. What are you guys thinking? You thinking that we're going to get one this year? And if so, is there something that you'd like to see?
I mean, if we get one, that'd be cool. But honestly, I have no idea. And I'm not even going to try to speculate because every time I have just been completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever Eric decides to do and put out, if we do have one, that'd be great. If not, then we'll just wait for the next one. But I think whatever they put out is going to look amazing regardless. So, but I'm not going to speculate because unless they put out some teaser, I know some people guessed when Monkey King came out, they got a few of them. I don't know anybody that guessed Mask of the Red Death, but it was still an awesome. That's one of my favorite ones next to Krampus.
Jesse did actually.
Awesome.
I think Kevin did too.
Yeah, Jesse did, and then I was like, I don't know who the hell that is. He said Mask of the Red Death, and I'm like, maybe. I don't know what the fuck that is, but they did a good job. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got some people in chat. Kevin saying Jack Frost, Nutcracker. Nutcracker would be cool. Mouse King, Snow Queen. We've got Reindeer for Santa. I don't know if reindeer specific enough, like, because normally it's like got to have like a name. So maybe if it was a specific reindeer. So I don't know. We'll see. I feel like it's a good time for that. But Maverick's also saying Winter Queen. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe like a what's the isn't like the at the end of the year there's like the is it Father Time that's at the end of the year, and then there's the New Year's baby?
Yeah, they've talked about that probably not being one they would do for a while because it'd be too similar to Father Christmas.
Gotcha.
But yeah, my guess is if we get one, it'll be. I won't be surprised if I wake up Friday morning to see an announcement that there's something.
Yeah. Kevin's saying
Kevin,
the three spirits.
Oh yeah,
we pulled that at the same time. That would be cool.
So wait, we got traditional, famous like literary things for Christmas. You got Christmas Carol. So anything from that, could be a possibility. You got obviously a little more religious, but you could have anything from like the nativity story could be in there. I don't think so, but that's a possibility. You've got other cultures that have different versions of winter solstice type things that could play into it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Or like someone was saying the snow queen or the snow whatever from like Hans Christian Andersen. There's a lot of stuff that could happen. It'll just be really cool, like you said, Stevo. Whatever they put out, it's going to be cool.
Yep.
It'll be a Yeti. We're not going Christmas this year, just winter theme.
Yeti would be cool.
Yeti would be nice.
I would buy the hell out of a Yeti.
That at brood scale, yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. So
yeah, that'd be sweet.
No miser.
Heck, in a few years we get a polar bear though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the first things I'm doing with that bear is I'm going to see if I can make it into a panda bear.
Because this is how messed up my brain is, because a polar bear is shaped so differently from a regular bear. I cannot customize Bodivar into a polar bear. I'm not saying other people can't, but on my shelf I would not be able to do
even
that.
If like a third party company came out with a different head for it, like the body itself you couldn't use.
No, their bodies are shaped too different.
There is a huge difference. He's not wrong.
They have longer faces though, right? For polar bears, they have slimmer features.
Yeah, they're more like a stretched out teardrop shape, like
shape to them.
Like grizzly bears, black bears, brown bears are more bigger up front. Like they've got like the bigger haunches in the front, bigger shoulder, and all that. So where polar bears generally kind of like taper from the point back.
Yes, Kevin.
We got a little more junk in the trunk, if you will.
They said they do live in northwestern Indiana. So
yep.
LaPorte. They're what is called Indiana Pretty. So
man,
that's what Travis said. Yeah,
I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it.
He said I was inbred.
I'm in. Yeah, I might be a 2 in Chicago, but in Indiana, I'm a 10. God damn it.
Better stay away from Chicago.
You're still a 10 there, buddy.
Yeah, my wife knows it too.
Maverick says maybe a Chinese Zodiac character. I don't know if that would be right now, but I could see them doing that at some point. So,
isn't 24 the year of the dragon?
Taller too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes, next year is Year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of speculation on what's coming out for with what Gerard said and everything like that, with it being the 10-year anniversary of Legions and then 25th anniversary of the studio. It's gonna be interesting. Can't wait.
You know who's been saying that for over a year?
Everybody.
Well, no. The whole the 10 years, 20 years, Year of the Dragon, like Curtis has been saying that almost as long as I've known he existed. So
He's gonna get it right one year.
I called Jeremy out on that on one of his shows, and he just gave me one of the like an O face. Like, okay. Jersey Devil. I don't know that we would get that this time of year, but I'm sure we'll get one at some point. So yeah.
Look, Maverick, the only thing saying it's going to be December is the fact that they've done one the first week of December the last 2 years. It's a trend at this point. So if they don't break the trend, and then we can stop speculating.
Yeah. Did want to mention real quick, we talked about doing a giveaway for 500 subscribers. We are working on that. We've got some prizes that were donated. We've got some prizes that we've got in there. We're just trying to figure out when the best time is to do that. What we don't want to do is, have it on an episode where we're, talking to individuals like we were with these two tonight and take up their time with doing a bunch of giveaways. So we got to figure out a time that works for that. Maybe we might even have to do it separately from a regular show. I don't know. One way or another, we'll figure it out. But be on the lookout because we will be doing that soon, and we do have some pretty cool prizes lined up. And speaking of prizes, if you haven't already checked it out, please take a look in the Cabal on the pin post. They have the Toys for Tot raffle going on through next Sunday. And it's $10 an entry. Lots of prizes in there. A lot of things have been donated by several individuals. I know Wolf King has donated quite a bit of parts and figures, and there's a lot of painters, several different painters in the community that are painting things for it. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already, because that's it's for a good cause, and there's a lot of cool stuff in there. So
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Anything else that we wanted to cover, Jesse, or these guys before we let them go?
Well, I guess Curtis has decided he's done talking to you guys.
So, no, we can keep talking. It just felt like there was kind of a lull. So, and we're at the 2-hour mark, which is usually our kind of normal wrapping it up time. But yeah, we can talk as long as you want.
I'm giving you a hard time.
You know me. I'll stay on YouTube the whole time. I'm just going to jump from this to another show. So,
yeah,
he's probably been on since this morning.
Well, he was watching My Wife Is Going to Kill Me this morning, so he was on YouTube in some form.
Yeah.
Somebody has to pay Cody.
See, so you guys gonna go MythicCon? No power cons. So you're gonna try to hit anything else between MythicCon and LegionsCon, or?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be like some smaller shows in the area. We like helping Scott out as much as we can. Like, it's a good chance to like meet some people. I enjoy doing shows. When you guys see me at other shows, and when I'm always asking people, do you need to go to the bathroom? Do you need any help? Do you need me to do this? That's just me like doing shows, and I know what it's like to sit behind a table for all that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure there'll be some shows we hit up in between there.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Always, it seems to be like all we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not in an area where I have that luxury to be able to go to stuff like that. Like, there's a little small one here that happens like once every 3 months, but it's not anything, near the stuff that you guys are able to go to. But yeah, the Grand Rapids, you've got the Chicago one, which is fairly close to you guys. On the East Coast, those guys get all kinds of cool stuff. So, it doesn't
sound so bad now, does it?
No. It's definitely got to be fun for sure. I would like to have more of that, but it's all right.
It does get to a point where you have to pick and choose.
Yeah,
like a Midwest cabal.
All of them.
Yeah,
there is a Midwest cabal, Jesse.
What?
Yeah. Walter has set up some regional cabals, and it's a great thing for you guys to check out. If whatever area you're in, there should be a cabal for your area, and you can find out who else is in that area. that collects these things,
your area.
and you can gather up to do, to trade figures, to go to shows, whatever. It's really good stuff.
David, MesquiCon is March 16th.
Mm-hmm. Because Bushati 316 says he just whooped. No, that's somebody else. Never mind.
Don't get us canceled on someone else's behalf.
But it's fun.
Beautimus.
All right. I have one more question. We've gone through the 4 villain factions with the opposing heroic faction. We've done the splinter factions in Sons of the Red Star and Noble Bear. Do you guys have any, not so much wants, but predictions what next year might bring at G-Con?
Go ahead, Maynard, because I got a long one.
I have nothing. Me and Stevo were talking about this not that long ago, and after this last reveal, I'm like, I don't know what's coming next. I mean, I don't even want to speculate because with what they pull on us, I'd be so wrong it wouldn't be funny.
I think it would be awesome if we just got to G-Con and there was one figure and it was a dragon, and that was it.
I'd be great with that.
I mean, you look at the price. What's the price of this all in? It's like $550. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
For the all in.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine Dragon's gonna be every bit of that, if not more. So it's not like you can just, put that in with 10 figure wave. I mean, it's just, I think that becomes too pricey. So I would be perfectly fine with going to G-Con and they go, here's your dragon. See you next year. Like,
I'd be good with that.
Yeah. But other than that, like, I could see them doing, either introducing some new factions would be cool. I know there's a lot of different races that people have talked about seeing over the years, like wanting to see, werewolves, wanting to see gorgons, wanting to see, fish people, things like that. So, who knows? Maybe we get some new factions. Maybe we get some, something else that, as this battle continues, that, other folks that jump in. So we'll see. Whatever we get is going to be fun.
I was thinking that we haven't seen Leodicius or Basilica in figure form yet. So
we haven't seen what is it? The 4 gods? Is that what it is, Jesse?
Yeah.
It's the 4 good siblings, because the dark siblings are the other ones. Because technically they're all siblings.
Yeah. I don't want to see. I don't know if I would want them to do another 4 years doing the heroic the way they did the bad guys. I'd like to see it as the bad guys are here. So even if they skipped the gods next year and did it in 2025, where it's like, all right, here are the 4 great beasts, in a wave with like a, like a champion or something of theirs, or maybe we'll go back in time. Maybe we'll get some more prehistoric characters, like, from the first war, like some of the ancestors of like Lady Averona and stuff, or I could see them do it because, I think doing the 4 gods. I mean, I'd be just as happy if they came out over 4 years, but doing another 4-year stretch before you get all of them again. I mean, technically they do only have to make 2 more to finish them, but there's a lot of people that have come in, myself included, that don't have Xylona or Aetheron. So it would just be kind of empty to have the other 2 without being able to chance to get those 2. So
David Smith says half orcs, halflings. And then Brad Johnson says some version 2s of big characters, especially Aetheron and Xylona. I could definitely see those. I mean, I would like to see, this is my own personal soapbox that I've, been on for a while, but I would personally like to see them go away from the all-star format that we currently have and instead do something with version 2s of, whatever characters get voted in. And I know that would be a longer process. because you'd have to vote on it, and then Eric would have to design them, and then it would have to go to tooling and all this. Like, it would take longer, but I would rather see those figures that we want redesigned, like vote on that, than, just getting the old stuff that, we've missed out on or whatever. But
so I kind of had this thought actually earlier this week, kind of jumping off what you're talking about, Curtis, where so we have, the Dark Four have risen, and then we're eventually going to have another war. Well, some of these characters might die. So if in the lore, some of these characters, some of the siblings end up killing each other, whatever's left, there might be a time where we get brand new factions of the leftovers of who's survived, maybe. And then you get 2.0s of this, or maybe there's other siblings that we just don't know about, whatever they do. But I was thinking about the whole fact that we are going to get a war, and they're going to be casualties like they were in the first age. So maybe we get these splinter factions of the remnants of some of these in the future.
What if we get like what do we get, like an Artemis that was turned into a vampire? Or we get
something,
we get an Attila that is now a skeleton because he's been killed in battle and raised by Necronominus. So that'd be kind of interesting.
I have no problem with like heroes falling in battle, and obviously with Necronominus, everybody that dies can just be brought back as an undead version of themselves in some form. I think I was going to make a suggestion, maybe, and Stevo hit it right on the head, that, maybe we get here's what's left of the heroes, and you get your version 2, you get your version 2 Otho, you get a new Thistlethorn, or different characters from different factions that now, have come together to stand against the
evil. Or
what
if Otho has his own faction now, something like that.
Yeah, it'd be cool if some of these that weren't considered main characters now have to become the main characters because other people get killed off. That would be cool.
That idea I really like.
Yeah, like and then somebody like a Thistlethorn, like all of a sudden be a faction leader would be neat, So Gideon have his brand as the sole survivor. That would be that'd be rough. I think he would probably get his ass kicked then if he's the only survivor. Female Fuzzmonk for sure, zombie. Yeah.
Yes. And a snarling or growling, open mouth Fuzzmonk aggressive face.
Female goblin.
I would like to see a female Templar builder. Like I know we've got Delphina, but just you've got, the Relic Templars now, you've got the Dark Templars, you've got, all these other ones. Like just a female builder Templar, I think would be freaking awesome. I would love to have that. So
I'm one of the people that I might not collect everything they put out, but I can appreciate everything that they put out.
Oh yeah,
that might not be my faction or might not be something that I'm into. But just with this last G-Con and seeing House of the Noble Bear and everything like that, I do gravitate more toward the evil factions. But I loved all those figures that they brought out. I thought they were great. It was just cool to see up close, but just. They do great work. I don't have to buy everything that they put out, though, but I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
JG says, is the book due to be released in 2024? I don't know. Last I heard, the book was done, but they're still working on editing and rewrites and whatever. But as far as when it's supposed to be released, I haven't heard that. I don't know if you've heard anything, Jesse.
The last thing Jeremy talked about it on one of the shows, I think since LegionsCon. Or right before LegionsCon, I think they're hoping to get it out next year, but that is not a quotable. I can't point to the source of that. So,
tune in on Wednesday because Jesse and I will be on Jeremy's show, and we can make sure that we ask him that.
Do that, please.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm sure looking forward to timing of everything that they got going on with the whole 10-year, the 20-year, whatever. That would probably be ideal for them to get it out. But if I know them, they're also not going to rush anything just to try to make a deadline. They're going to want to make sure that it's good and it's the way that it should be. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Patience is key.
I could see. Oh man, what if they did like? I know it wouldn't be as big story wise, but maybe what if we got like a wave that was not deluxe Legion builders, not just reinforcements, but like new like builders where you could make multiple different characters with us. They're all like the bigger, like the barbarian set.
Mhm.
It might be a smaller wave, but you get like a goblin builder pack where you've got a couple different heads, a couple different
Mhm.
torsos, like the
Kind of like they do with the
Aetherblade.
undead, or like when they just did the undead builder
Yeah,
set, but with different.
like
Okay.
yeah. So I mean,
Well,
you'd have to buy
yeah.
multiple to mix and match, but with each set you'd have multiple pieces, like like those bigger, like that first barbarian, the War for the Aetherblade elves and orcs, where you've got all the different parts. So if you get two, you can immediately make a whole different variety of stuff.
Yeah, I mean
and get
they
that
kind of
new-
did that with the game figures, and then just now with the new dwarves, where they're putting them in a 2-pack with 4 different heads and all these different parts, and you can mix and match it. So yeah, I see what you're saying. Like it would be cool to get something more of that. I think those game figures are phenomenal. Like especially I think it's the female orc. Like it's basically like a set of legs away from 2 full figures,
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff in there, and so yeah, some more stuff like that would be ideal, especially as you're getting more people into like the popping and swapping and that kind of stuff too. So.
Like Kevin said there, like if there's like a shadow elf one, 1.0 female one, or even just a 1.0 barbarian where you can swap for male or female torso, like the skeleton 2 or the skeleton soldier, how like that could be. I think.
Well, that
I
was
think that would
cool
be
with the elf game figures, that they put it to where like you had like the different skin tones of the elves. Like you had the Whisperling, you had the regular elf, you had the dark elf. So yeah, it'd be cool if they did that with like the humans or orcs or whatever, to where you had the armor set, but then you had some different colored parts for the different versions. Yeah.
Or maybe just do one for each of the 4 main heroic and villain factions, since House of Noble Bear and Rising Suns just happened, and there are kind of Legion builder
I know you can get behind this one. Gizmus is a fuzz monk 2-pack, like the dwarf. Yeah, if they did a male and female fuzz monk pack with a bunch of different parts that you can mix and match. That's what I was actually hoping this year for the gnomes, and we ended up getting it for dwarves instead. But yeah, I think that idea, that concept works really well. Where you can throw some extra weapons and pauldrons and whatever in there, and mix and match. I also one thing that they haven't done yet, which has been kind of surprising to me, is they haven't. They've got those removable chest plates now, right? They haven't put out any figure that has multiple chest plates.
It might be coming in the future.
Yeah,
since they know what they're doing with
I
it
think
now.
that would be cool. Like, especially like if one thing I've been really blowing the horn on is like battle damage. Like you could do like the one chest plate is like the standard one, and then do another one that's got like all the like gashes and everything else in it, or whatever, do something completely different and make it completely different armor. I'm just surprised that we haven't gotten that yet. Like, we get extra hands, we get extra heads, we all this and that. Different. Sometimes they'll put 2 sets of pauldrons in there, but we haven't got any extra chest plates. So,
Jesse said that'd be a great way to get a male and a female.
Yeah.
Just chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially now that you're doing 1.0 females. So,
yeah,
little skinnier arms.
Yeah.
Oh crap! I just lost it. Well, the stuff we're getting now, like the stuff they're announcing, like these are these figures are still at least what
year and a half away.
No. I was gonna say like a year to year and a half old as far as their work on them. Like they're already working on new stuff. So maybe since Alithia just hit last summer, it's been a little over a year. Maybe the chest plates being so versatile, maybe they're just hammering out some details, and we'll see that more often going forward, where it's not like a bare skin piece.
Yeah.
like Nieve is. She's like got a lot of skin on her torso, so that's not like a plate swap situation. But if we get a like Vorga could have been a chest plate situation.
Well, I wanted to pull this up from Zombie. He says a Valiant wave. Well, that's kind of what the Necronominous Knights are. Like they're all that same kind of build as the Valiant. And last I saw, we're probably going to get those middle of next year. So it's we're going to get
said summer 24.
Yeah, we're going to get Poxus here in like January, and then it'll only be 5-6 months later, and then Necronominous is going to be right there, and all of those, the Gideon, the Elijah, all the one that what's the Andrew, the one that Vasapolo worked on, like those are all that's new body, and new arms and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like you said, Jesse, a lot of this stuff, like we just got this Valiant Knight in hand to where we're able to play with this and see the articulation, but shit, that's been in the works for a year and a half, and
at least
soon we'll get those in hand, and that'll be a game changer.
I mean, we might even see it with Cosmics first, because with the bear arms on the one alien character in Cosmics, maybe that was like the start and the tooling and everything. Okay, so how can we transfer that over to Mythics? We might get chest plates and stuff like that in Cosmic, and then they can figure out how to transfer that over to Mythics.
Yeah.
The tooling's got to be different, but who knows? I love the pinless body on the Red Death figure. That's one of the first things after I saw Bill's review on it, and I'm like, oh, it's pinless. Oh, we got a swivel peg on the neck. We have this. So I immediately just took it apart. I wanted to see what he was showing everybody. I was like, well, this is great, but we're probably not going to see this articulation on a Legion for another year.
Well, I mean, we will on other figure obscuras and stuff like that.
If it calls for it, yeah.
That's one of the cool thing about the figure obscura, because they deal with them in stock. By the time they show it off, like we're getting whatever they show. It's not like this is they still got to tool it and they got to produce it and all this and that. So so we'll see. Hopefully we get a new one this week or this this year, new figure obscura, and that'll come with some new parts too, because then some of that stuff gets incorporated as well. Like we just saw in this past wave, they were using the Monkey King armor for another figure. So who knows? Maybe we get something figure obscura wise here by the end of the year, and that way it works its way into the line somewhere else. So
what if we get something that's got more civilian town folk, and that's the way we get into town folk legions, is through a figure obscura?
Maybe.
I'll get my Curtis figure eventually then.
Your which one?
Curtis.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have an unpainted Curtis head that I'm like going to work on as soon as I get my other stuff from Wolfgang.
Yeah. Nice. You got the vampire Curtis.
Yeah, I'm working on it though. I just did the Wolfgang sale, so I ordered some stuff.
That Templar version of me may be available. I don't know if it's available or not. I Headhunter Customs is the one that did that. So I don't know. He may have it available on his site. If you really want one bad, Maynard, you may be able to hit up Headhunter and get one from him. But I just don't know that anybody wants me. So
I tried to buy it.
All right. Now are we about ready to call it a show, Jesse? Or did you?
No. No. We'll let these guys go.
Okay. Do you guys have anything else that you want to promote, whether it be Instagrams, shows, anything else that you guys got coming up that you want people to know about?
No, my Instagram handle's on the bottom of my name. If anybody wants to go check out, I always take photos of figures in jackass situations. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I was like inspired by Twisted Toy Fair Theater. So when you look through some of the photos, like I have one that I took of Beast, the gray version of Beast, the Marvel Legend, and he's reading a book and it just says, "I wish I could read." Just stupid shit like that. I got Beta Ray Bill flying through the air saying Leroy Jenkins.
Nice.
There's a bunch of different stuff. I think I got one on there that I literally stole from the cover of a Twisted Toy Fair Theater graphic novel. It was Spider-Man and Doc Ock, and he says, "What exactly are you a doctor of?" And Doc Ock says, "Gravy." So just things like that. And if anybody is into if anybody's into the vampires and they want to join the Brood, go ahead and just look up the Brood Mythic Legion vampires. But I mean, to be honest with you, all the factions that have all the races and all the factions that have like a subgroup or everything, whether it be dwarves or the skeletons, they all have great people in them. They all have great great admins and stuff. So whatever you're into, find one of the factions if you want to get away from just being a part of the cabal and you want to see what other people are into. All the faction groups are great.
I mean, the dwarves are a little annoying, but yeah, for the most part.
One in particular, but I mean, he's cool enough. He took a picture with me. I was like, "You probably hate me. You're not gonna do this, are you?" He's like, "No. But peace was made for about 10 minutes.
Gotcha. What about you, Maynard? Anything you want to promote or anything people can find your
Rust King, but someone forgets they have it and doesn't update it very often. But
Gotcha. Okay.
I got an old age.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing you guys at Mythic, and
Absolutely.
Right now, we're going to put you guys backstage. If you have to run because you got something else, that's fine. If not, just hang out backstage, and we'll be with you as soon as we close out the show. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
for coming on. It was fun. Well, Jesse, another great show with some great guests. Do have a couple housekeeping things to take care of before the end of the show. I had made a post in the Cabal, pinned it for the studios. So they did away with the groups.
Right.
In the like where you can do the rooms in Facebook. So you can't really just create a room in a group anymore. So what you have to do is you have to actually do like a messenger call, which means that only the people that are in that messenger group can join that call. So I put out a post out there. We had been doing these customizing studios for people to work on dios, painting, or just hang out and talk, whatever. And it was semi-regular. It wasn't exactly like every single week, but it was semi-regular that we would do one on the weekend. We didn't really have a set time. It was kind of just whenever my wife is going to kill me ended, we kind of would start one up. So being as that we, have to create a group for it, I just kind of put a time out there as like 1:00 Eastern on Sundays. If anybody's interested in being in that group, it doesn't mean that you have to commit that you're going to be there at 1:00 every Sunday. It just means that when we start the call, you're going to get a notification if you're in that group that call has started, and you either have to accept or decline it. So if you don't want to be annoyed by getting that call and you're never going to join, then don't worry about it. But if it is something that interests you and you would like to, either hang out with folks or paint or work on dios or whatever, make sure you either reply to that post or just message me directly and I'll add you to the group. And then when we, do those things and we start it up, then you'll get that notification. So, I wanted to make a mention of that. Anything that you'd want to add on that part, Jesse?
Not to that, I don't think. I think you nailed all of that down.
Okay. And then obviously there's a lot of Legions content, different shows to watch. One of the ones that started this past week was the Legions Ladies channel on YouTube. If you haven't checked that out yet, it was a really fun show. They've got their own YouTube channel. They got their own Instagram now as well. So if that's, check it out. If it's something that you're into, make sure you subscribe to it, hit that bell so you know when they go live. I know they're talking about kind of alternating weeks with Dork Lair. So I don't think they're going live this week coming up, but maybe the next week. So yeah, like I said, if it's something that you're into, hit that bell so that you know when they are going live. But I thought it was a really fun show. I thought they did a great job. So
yes, it was definitely a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what else they got going. I do work Thursday night, so I'll either catch like into the episode, and I do Mythic Minute Thursday night, so I'll probably have to catch them on the replay most of the time, or at least parts of them. But yeah, I can't wait to see what else they do and all of that. And so many, like you said, so many other so many other great shows
Mhm.
to watch to get your post LegionsCon fix, or just to hang out with other people in the chat. So,
Yep.
speaking of other people in the chat to hang out with, did you do the Toys for Tots thing again? Did you bring that up
I
again?
did it earlier. I didn't say it here at
Okay.
the end, but yeah, if you haven't already checked that out, check that out. A lot of great prizes. It's $10 for an entry. There's a lot of good stuff there, and it all is for a
Yeah.
good cause. So definitely hit that up as well.
Yes, and let's see what else is coming up this week. I guess nothing definitive that we know about this week.
Wednesday with Jeremy. We'll be on Mythic Conversation.
Mythic Conversation,
yeah.
7:30 Eastern, Wednesday night on the Mythic Customs channel. And just in case there is another figure obscura, and you have some cash, it's never a bad idea to throw some money into gift cards at Source
Yep.
Horseman.
Yep. Stockpile
Those are
those gift
available
cards.
all the time. So even if there isn't one next week, there might be one in 2 weeks. There might be one in 6 weeks. You never know when that or some other surprise drop might hit. To worthwhile to stock up a couple things there if you can.
And if right now you're listening to our voices, but you don't actually care about our show, it's just a family member, a father, a husband that's watching the show, and you just kind of you're hearing it in the background. Just know that that's a great gift for Christmas as well. If somebody is listening to us, they probably really would appreciate some Four Horsemen gift cards. So just keep that in the back of your mind there. So,
Darla, he's definitely not talking to you or anyone else in the Ackerman household.
All right.
Well, next week on Shooting the Shelf, the wheel, I believe, was it 9 o'clock they're doing the wheel?
I believe it's 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Eastern. So so Kent Matzinger's joining us. Oh man, what happened to that slide? I didn't center it properly or something. That's weird. Is joining us. Kent Pool Collects will be here on the show next Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So hey, pull up the wheel on the other side, like on a small screen or something. You don't have to listen to that. It's just going to be Cullen talking about whatever figure he has.
We may talk to Kent
kidding.
and see if we can go an hour early. So
we'll let you know. I mean, we'll probably lose Joe completely if we go another hour earlier, but we'll see what happens. Kent, we'll talk to you during the week and let you know or get your input on it. But next week, normally at 8 o'clock, we'll let you know in advance if it's going to be a different time with Kent to talk about all sorts of cool stuff and see what happens there. So yeah, I think that's it.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for everybody that joined live. Thanks for everybody that's watching on the replay crew. And until next time.
What's on your shelf?